You're listening to The Sizzle on Iron Skillet Radio and Iron Skillet Television.
You know what it is. You know who it is. It's The Sizzle here on Iron Skillet Radio, Iron Skillet Television. We are the talk of the 219. We're the hottest talk in the 219. We're the hottest sports talk everywhere. And you know, Jay, what's not hot is Zach Lavine right now. He's so hot that he has sizzled himself all the way to a fizzle. Zach Lavine is on the mends and the Bulls are on the ropes. So, Jay, I'll let you have the open salvo. Go ahead. Zach Lavine down.
You know,
he's just down.
Zach Lavine, I like Zach Lavine for this because he's a tough guy. You know what I'm saying? He's a tough guy, but sometimes as a coach, you got to protect the tough guy from a tough guy. You know what I'm saying? We need Zach Lavine out at least 90, 95%. I mean, when you play in the NBA, there's always going to be something wrong with you. You got an ankle, a knee, or something. You're playing through something. But when you're injured, I'd rather you sit down for 2 games, get that thing healed up instead of hobbling through the next 10. Because right now the Bulls, help me Jesus, all of them, the Bulls can't afford that right now. You're on the back end of this push and they're going to try to get into the playoffs. Don't know if they're going to make it. You just brought in some new guys that got to gel together. This is the time, sit Zach Lavine down. You saw today, you saw when they went up against the Suns. You saw Lauri Markkanen get more aggressive. So you're saying that this is a team, if you have everybody there, they may have a chance. However, if you don't guard this kid from himself, you don't want to have this injury that might linger on, or he might severely injure himself. He has come off a major knee injury before. So this is a guy who will play when he shouldn't be playing. You got to sit the kid down, put him in street clothes for 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, this is a situation now where the Bulls are running out of time at 19-27 right now. After their loss to the Suns, you saw some disturbing things, and you saw some strange enigmas again. You saw Patrick Williams be aggressive. You saw Lauri Markkanen be aggressive. But again, we talk about consistency, especially with Lauri Markkanen. After the 4th year, when you get into your 5th year in any league or anywhere, you are pretty much what you are.
Yeah.
I mean, you might add a new skill, you might do something a little different, but you are what you are. So at this point, I don't know what they are. But what I do know is that now you've got a new player in Nikola Vujacic, and he's doing his thing. You know, he's giving He's giving you a double-double. He's giving you that 21 and 10, somewhere in that range. But you've got to have other players step up. And I think maybe this has been the biggest knock on the Bulls, and it's an indictment that has been going probably since Scott Skiles into Tom Thibodeau, then whoever else was there. It really didn't matter. You had 2 boilings in a pot. You know, you don't know what you had, but everybody has said, and Billy Donovan is reiterating it, that these Bulls are soft. They're like toilet paper that's wet. They're just really soft. You just go, ugh, they're gooey.
You don't have a Patrick Beverly on your team right now. You need that guy. That's why that guy's in the league. You need nasty. You need somebody you need Draymond Greens. You know what I'm saying? You need these people. You need these people.
Even with a Garrett Temple who's out with injury.
Yeah.
And again, a hamstring, that's a big thing. You don't want to play with hamstrings. The only way to get them better is rest. That's an
old man injury right there, a hamstring.
You know what? It's also an injury when you're not ready and you're not prepared.
To play
those leg injuries, and a lot of that combined time that Garrett wasn't supposed to be playing. I mean, I don't believe that Garrett Temple was factored in to be a 24, 25-minute game guy.
He's an 11-minute guy. He's an 11-minute guy. Bring him in spurts. You know, he's to come in and give the starters a rest. He'll play hard for you, hold them off, you know, for 6-7 minutes, you know, give you 6-7 points maybe on a good night, and go have a seat and go look into the stands.
So at this point right now, when you have a Zach Lavine, Jay, can the Bulls make course? Because we've seen it now in a handful of games. Can they survive without Zach Lavine on that court giving them his punch?
No, absolutely not. Because you don't have enough punch. That's what the biggest problem is that Satoransky's not enough punch for you. You know, they just traded away? They just traded away
everybody.
Yeah, everybody. Was it Thaddeus left?
No, Thaddeus is still there. Thaddeus was giving you some work.
Otto Porter.
Otto Porter's gone. Yeah. You've got your boy, Wendell Carter, who's gone.
My man.
They traded almost their whole front court.
Yeah.
So everybody's pretty much gone.
You're looking at you just don't have a frontline scorer who could come off and take Zach Lavine's place to score.
Not even Denzel?
Denzel Valentine's old man game is so funny now that every time he makes he hits a shot, they start to old man. It's called the old man game. And it's sponsored by Bengay. You know? It's absolutely hurt. But here's the thing about a guy like him, right? By Denzel Valentine. He's become a caricature of himself. You know? He's not really a guy who can come in and you say, okay, we're going to bring Denzel in because he's going to eat up some minutes for us. He's going to, he's going to close down the lead, or he's going to hang on to the lead. He's not that guy. He stays on ball clubs. He's figured a way to get the ball up to the basket. He's not a super explosive guy. But the issue is that the Bulls just don't have enough. Here's the thing. I'll tell you how bad the Bulls were. Their bench would come in and play better than the starters.
Right.
And now, and then when the bench players had to start, they weren't that good against regular starters. You know what I'm saying? So it's like those bench players were good against the other team's bench players. The Bulls now, because they have an all-star at center, now you have an all-star guard if they can get him healthy. Now you still got to get him some more help out there. They need another scorer. Like we talked earlier, we did a segment on Patrick Williams. He had 16 points. Because we need Patrick Williams to come on and churn out those. We saw Zach Lavine injured at about 65%, still go out there and give you 12 points.
Right.
Still go out there and give you 12. Patrick Williams, on a good night, on his really good night, gave you 16. So we're seeing
he needs to give you between 15 and 18 every night. That has to be a consistent for him.
And that's my whole thing with him. I believe he has the ability to do it. I just believe he just never has been. What's the word I'm looking for? He's never had to do it. And I think a lot of that has to come with his college coach who ruined him. You knew he was a good ball player. You knew he was. And you protected him too much. You let him come in there against guys who are lesser talented than him. I guarantee you he played a lot of minutes, but he started off where he could go in there and get off because he was playing against guys, either that second string that came in or whatever the situation is, that he did not have to come in under that pressure to start. So he was able to go up against lesser competition. I guarantee you, because he was coming off the bench, the number one defender on the other team's team was not playing him. Now he comes out into the league, and you can't hide the league. It don't happen. No. If you're getting off in the league, I guarantee you there's 2 or 3 people charting every move that he does, every step that he takes. And so now they're starting to figure out his game. And now you done went up there and you done made this big block, and now you on Sports Center and all that. You got people like that. Oh, no, you ain't getting me like that, baby. That ain't happening. So now they really going to come at you. And you're not used to the pressure. That's what I think. That's the reason why I was so adamant about not taking this guy at the 4th pick, because he's never been in the crucible of a fight. He's never been in there where he had to go in there and fight right from the beginning. He's been eased into the fight. It's just like a bullfighter, right? When a bullfighter goes out there, the picaderos and those guys, they ride by and they stab the bull up first. They stab the bull with sticks and spears. By the time he gets to the bullfighter, he's tired. He's tired. He's wore out. He's worn out. And now the bullfighter is jumping around, but you don't see these bullfighters jumping there when that bull hasn't been bled out. They don't jump in there then, because that bull's gonna whip that behind. And that's what the problem is with the Bulls, is that you got a young
Wait,
kid.
the problem is we have to stab Patrick Williams?
No, the problem is with Patrick Williams that he's never been in the middle of the fight from the beginning. And at least I'm saying this right now, the Bulls are trying to do that to Patrick Williams. They're trying to put him up against LeBron. They're trying to put him up against Giannis. They're trying to put him up against Devin Booker, 45 points. They're trying to put him up against these people, trying to get him into the crucible. Now, can he stay in the fight? That's the question. He just said, well, I wasn't physical enough. Dude, you got to come in there being physical. I remember, let me take a sidebar for 37 seconds.
Okay.
My daughter played on one of the better youth basketball team, travel basketball teams in the area that I live in. Her 7th and 8th grade girls basketball team, they were good. They used to travel around. They played in boys tournaments. You know what I'm saying? Almost won a game in a boys tournament. That's how good these girls were. People used to come over and watch them play. The one thing I had my daughter do on this game when she walked out on the court was to bump into the girl. When she was ready to jump center, she would just bump into her. Like not push her out the way, knock into her, to let her know this is how this game is going to go today. This is how this game is going to go. And so the same thing with Patrick. Patrick Williams got to come out there on the court. Don't shake nobody's hand. Walk up to somebody, throw your foot over the top of theirs, put the elbow in there, and right at the beginning, make the referee come over there and separate you. You know what I'm saying? Come over there with some fight now. Like I'm coming in the street fight right now because you got to have that mentality. He comes in, he's such a nice guy. His parents did a fantastic job of raising him, but we need the other side of that coin. We need him to put on. We need to put him on and become one of those superheroes. You know what happens when something bad happens to him? All of a sudden they go to the dark side. And then the stuff starts creeping over their face. All of a sudden, you look up and they got red eyes. We need red eyes Patrick Williams. Then he can wear the green leprechauns. Because if he ever comes out with an attitude, like I'm just gonna ball out, I'm gonna dunk on you, I'm just gonna clown you, I'm gonna fight you. If he ever comes out with that attitude, I'll be his biggest cheerleader because I think that's when he's gonna play his best basketball.
You know, with that said, and now putting that all into perspective. If Zach Lavine has to sit out, can the Bulls make a run at the playoffs?
I don't know how far out they are right now. I'll tell you the truth. They're
19 and 27 right now.
Where are they sitting at right now?
About 11th place.
So they're look now. Everybody and their father is supposed to make these playoffs.
But here's the killing part. I heard that, but you do remember they traded their first round pick and it was unprotected.
Yeah.
So if you don't make the playoffs, interesting. It's going to be an interesting proposition. If you don't make the playoffs this year, what you do?
Yeah. So I mean, it's a real situation for them. But I think 10 teams are making the playoffs or something like that. It's something like that.
Yeah.
Number 9 playing 8 and 7 playing whoever somebody they got to it's a play. They're doing the same thing as the NCAA. They got playing games going on everywhere. So it's that type of situation. They should make the playoffs, but if they do, unless Patrick Williams really steps up his game, and he gets the Mamba mentality, and he just says, "I'm going for broke. I'm going out here to fight you." If Patrick Williams comes in with that fight you mentality, the Bulls got a shot, because now he's going to fight his way into 20 points a night. You know, he's going to have the bloody nose, and he's going to have the elbow, and he's going, all this type of stuff. You know, he needs. That's what he needs to do. You just can't come ease yourself off into 16 points, shooting your jump shots, and then come back, with your sweet water, and just looking good, and all of a sudden you coming up with 6 points the next game.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard sell moving forward, but hopefully Zach is okay. But I'm not sure. But again, when you're talking about lower leg extremities with Zach especially, that'd be something you want to watch with caution. And this is something that we'll monitor and we'll keep going through as the season progresses. And hopefully Zach will be able to make a recovery and finally get a chance where he and Vuk can get together and they can put something together, get a plan for Patrick Williams, then get, Lauri Markkanen to be more aggressive and assertive on their time and not kill Thaddeus Young. Thaddeus Young is going to be 80 at the end of the season,
Yeah,
and he's going to be dead.
Play him, ride him till he collapse. You know
You're going to have to, because that's all you got.
Yeah.
He's going to collapse, and that's all you got.
But the thing about it, if the Bulls could somehow, some way sneak into the playoffs, and somehow, some way they could gel together somehow, some way, and everybody plays near, not peak. We know that's impossible, but somehow they turn it on in the playoffs. The Bulls could be a team that's a little dangerous to play. However, they're going to come in on the bottom, and then you got those number one, top 1 and 2 teams on top, and they're going to come in whipping that behind. So it's I don't to say you just made the playoffs. It's like saying certain other teams in Chicago made the playoffs until they had a good year.
Well, we're going to leave it there. You know who it is. You know what it is. It's the Sizzle here on Iron Skillet Radio and Iron Skillet Television. And if you have not subscribed, liked, and shared, make sure that you can do it at any point in time. You just push the button. You're just there, and you go, boop, and just like I just did. And you can boop yourself and make sure that you have subscribed to the Sizzle. We are anywhere you want to be. We're on all platforms, and all you have to do is look for us at hashtag IronSkilletSports. And if you can't find us that way, you can always find us at hashtag IronSkillet219. Yeah. That way you can always hear this new content and the best of Iron Skillet Sports. And so we're getting ready to jump on up out of here. But hey, before we go, always remember this. It's better to have shot the ball and missed than to miss when you don't shoot the ball.
That was fabulous. And make sure now, wear your mask when you boop.
Boop.
We're rolling credits.